The button's still not working. Alright, fine. I don't care. I pushed the button, but the button didn't do nothing. Now I gotta click other things instead of pushing the button. That's alright. I'm not ashamed. I'm not even bored. This is the part where we give it a minute and a half because it takes about 2 minutes for anything that comes through to actually go out into the wilderness, and we're going to actually attempt to make something happen out of all this nonsense. 300 shows. That's a lot. And let's be honest about this. 300 shows is a heck of a lot of shows to do. You know, I'm going to say that's probably about as close as we're going to manage to get here. And we are live. Holy crap, we are live. And Rob's chat thing is showing up here on that screen, and why is he not showing up on this screen, I wonder? Let's see. It is a traditional technological thing that we have technological free-for-alls at all times. It may just be that it's taking some time to show up because, of course, our technology is just, dumb. Let's see if there's anything in here, but I assure you that I have some comments going on. Hey! Okay, so apparently YouTube has decided not to talk to our chat box, but Facebook is just fine. I have no idea. But Rob is wishing me a happy Thanksgiving or Canada Day. Close enough for rock and roll as far as I'm concerned. Oh my gosh. Where at that? Look at this. Holy, show 300. 300 shows. What kind of lunatic does 300 live stream shows on an almost weekly basis, starting out on an almost daily basis back during the pandemic, well over 3 years ago? And here I am now, and here we is. And I have no idea, Rob, why your chat's not showing, your comments aren't showing up in the box, in the chat box thing over here. Rob is talking to me, and I'm talking to him, and the rest of y'all just think I'm hallucinating. But then, too, Rob and I have been accused of being different sides of the same coin. And I think it's particularly amusing that my friend Rob now... Rob, you were talking about finding an Amy of your own, and Rob has found an Amy of his own. It's not spelled the same, but, variants. What you gonna do? I'm not sure which of us is a variant of whom, or if there's some other Uber Matthew Rob archetype out there somewhere that's just watching all this with deep amusement. We will unlimber, or limber. Why is it unlimbering when you actually bring the instrument out, but it's not limbering when you put it away? I don't know. But this is show 300. I am absolutely astonished. First of all, that I've managed to commit to 300 shows. You're not imagining things here. The way this is set up as an 8-string is that you've got a high G and a low G, then you got a high C and a low C, and then 2 of the same E and 2 of the same A. And that's how that works. This is one I got because I really wanted to get the kind of sound that you can get out of a mandolin, but I didn't want to have to learn how to play the mandolin. And this one conveniently has all the stuff. It even has a little preamp in it with a tuner, so I don't have to have something sticking off the head there. Yeah. There goes. Now Rob is showing up. I have no idea how this is working. It's just kind of getting there. Yep. That's right. Rob was released into the wilderness before I was. It's true. So it is the froth of July, United States Independence Day, or known everywhere else on the world, the 4th of July, and that's quite all right. We made it this far. I am still bewildered. Honestly, I don't think the only thing I may have done more of is my actual show. I did a ridiculous number of magic shows when I got it started out, and I've been trying to catch up on the music stuff, but it's not quite as desperate an act as it used to be, as it were, because I am now in 2 more days I will be 56 years old, and I'm as surprised as anyone. And so I figured I'd do a long show, and we're just going to kind of make it up as we go along. So this one will probably go longer than half an hour. It may even go longer than an hour. We came really close to doing about 2 hours, and then I thought, and I started to get, my brain started to go numb. So we're gonna see what happens. But we are gonna start now that I have a quorum. 4 people in the audience definitely counts as a quorum. Or at least that's as many as the counter that's over here. Up here where you can't see it says I've got 4 viewers, but it also didn't know Rob was there, so I have no idea what's going on anymore. I only really know that you people exist because you make comments over here. And if it's like one person with 47 accounts making comments, well, thank you, you're doing God's work. I would like to start the show, as this is the day of the United States independence, with the single most patriotic song that I have. And this patriotic song was basically written on a bet. Well, what I did was I set up several years ago, some of you were here for it, I set up a poll where I just said, send on Facebook, I said, comment in the Facebook, Trader's Day, comment in the Facebook with the title of a song you'd like me to write. And the 3 songs that got the most likes, I would then write. And one of them was Goddammit Laguerre, which I'm still trying to get. I have it, it's just not as funny as I thought it would be. The second one was Relative Insanity, which is a song that Jana Zepp, who's currently playing the Queen at Scarborough Renaissance Festival, and was Queen Margaret of Scotland and the Isles, proposed that song, and I accidentally wrote the Dread Peasant Festus before I wrote her song. And the third song is Grandpa's Can of War Ration Spam. So that is in fact going to be the song we're going to open with, because it is legitimately the most patriotic song that I have. It's more patriotic even than Eat Bertha's Muscles, which is the national anthem of Victorian enthusiasts everywhere. Because it is show 300, we're going to increase the production value. That's right, I'm breaking out the big guns. Let's see if I can do this. This could get very, very bad very fast. Grandpa died, there's just one thing he set aside, to give to me his favorite daughter's boy. And inside that box, wrapped securely in old socks, we found the can of Spam that was his pride and joy. Yes, Grandpa's can of war ration Spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. What Grandpa bequeathed was some kind of mystery meat. The secret to the contents darn near did me in. I swore that would not break or get so desperate I'd partake of that there freaky food that's stuffed inside that tin. Yes, Grandpa's can of war ration Spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Sometimes things got rough, so you know the times were pretty tough, the kind of trouble that would kill a lesser man. But like my grandpa had, I knew that things were not so bad, and I'd be darned if I would open up that can. Yes, Grandpa's can of war ration Spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Now, fellas, we're not sure what kind of food that can procures. It could be pork or chicken, beef, or even cod. And underneath that And who knows just what is trapped within, and we're afraid we might just free an elder god. Open Grandpa's can of war rations can kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Oh yes, the Grandpa's can of war rations can kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Olay! And we're off and running! Yes! For sure, there are closed captions? This show is closed captioned for the comedy impaired. I'm sure the closed caption thing just had a cardiac arrest listening to that song right there. My friends, this of course is Purdy, the 8-string tenor ukulele. It was very hard to find Purdy. I tried ordering it online about 3 times and was rejected all 3 times. I wound up going to the local Sam Ash brick and mortar music shop and picked this thing up about, 4 years ago. Because you see, I too... Abort Russians a pretty work. Doing a pretty commendable job. You know what I would love to see actually is I'd love to see what the captions actually have on some of these songs, and then I might just like sing the songs the way the captions think I'm singing them. That could be an entire special hidden track. On I am actually committing right here, right now, on Electrons, recorded for posterity to see. I'm committing to recording the official bootleg / and then I wrote / you gotta make an album one day collection of Tobias the Adequate Troubadork songs with the goal of having it ready by next year. Because I have 0 to negative experience. I have 0 to negative experience with producing an album. The best I'm going to be able to do is try to record these things in Audacity and maybe find someone to make them sound purdier. Or as purdy as they can make it sound, because after all, this is me we're talking about. This is Tobias the Adequate. The man with the disclaimer right in the middle of the name, really. So, you know, we'll see how it all works out, because as we all know, I am not very good at this. No, I am not very good at this. I try to get it right, but it's often hit or miss. I am not very good at this. Oh, I am not very good at this. You know it. No, I am not very good at this. If you're looking to be transported in a cloud of lyric bliss, sorry, I am not very good at this. Oh, I am not very good at this. No, I am not very good at this. Sometimes the lyrics are weird, and the scanter's a little awkward. I am not very good at this. Oh, I am not very good at this. None of us are, really. No, we are not very good at this. You do well as an audience. We try to get it right, but it's often hit or miss. I am not very good. No, we are not very good. No, no one is very good at this. Oh. Yes! You know what? I can hassle. Yes, I will. I know Andrew. Andrew was kind enough. Andrew McKee has been kind enough to share a stage with me, and I'm always bewildered by that because I am a dabbler and a dilettante and a filthy casual. And anytime anybody who actually does more seriously meaning to do this does this, has the inclination to spend any time at all dealing with me, I am perpetually astonished and bewildered and confused. because, well, it's I honestly have no idea, Rob. I'm still trying to figure out which. I have a Stream Deck, and the Stream Deck has decided to stop working. The Stream Deck is supposed to let me jump between screens, and it doesn't, and it gives me a little yellow triangle saying, "Guess what? You are not going to be able to use me." That's okay. I've had it between several computers, and it was working last week, and this week it's not working. And it probably just means I need to restart everything and, double check everything. And at this point, I am in the middle of a show, so, we'll just bravely guerrilla our way forward. Doing this, of course, in the traditional way, as our primitive ancestors did, badly. So, yes. If you watch the scroll down here, you'll see I actually do have some gigs lined up. The fine ladies at the Southtown Show Club, which is run out of Bar Ludwig once a month in San Antonio, Texas, have asked me to come and do some magic for them. And I have said, yes, I will do magic for you. Because 1, it's indoors. 2, it's in the evening. And 3, I'm more than happy to do gigs that are local. Magic and music now. I mean, I know there's a lot of musicians and there's a lot of people that don't do what I do, but I'm still being seen as a musician. So as a musician, I have a lot of competition. As a comedy magician, not as much. Unless you go to a Renaissance festival, at which point there are so many Renaissance festivals out there. It's amazing. Facebook is ahead of the YouTube today. I know that Facebook usually has a 2-minute lag. And YouTube and Twitch only have about a 1-minute lag, I think. I could be wrong. I am a technical person as my day job, but I really like to not be technical when I'm doing this here, because, I have to think and be smart for people all day on my day job. Here, I just open up my brain and have stuff come out. So I have Southtown Show Club in San Antonio, and that's in August. In September, I will be doing one day of the Sherwood Celtic Festival. We'll be doing Saturday, the 9th. So we just had that worked out with Zane, the intern. You do magic and music. When do you start your dance career? You have brand new knees now. Dancing may show up here and there. It's very hard to live stream a dance show. I don't have the room for that. I would trip over all the furniture, and that would just make a big mess. Let's be honest about that. Caffeine. 100% recycled bottle. Much like my material. So, yeah. It's being interesting. It's been a heck of a year so far. It's been complicated. It's been fraught. It's being more fraught with different reasons. And as I'm speaking over this thing, I'm hearing the strings resonate to the klaxon-like sound of my voice, which is interesting. And I'm trying to maintain focus, because if I don't maintain focus, this eye will start to drift, I discovered. It's a party trick. I can miss this. I can wander off over here, and then I look like I'm, about to invest in some NASCAR commemorative plates. Percussive destructive dance routine, seen only here. Well, I have given this instruction when I start moving around fast on stage. If I do start to fall toward you, move. Just get out of the way. I'll reach the ground at my own speed. F equals ma, a equation by which I live my life, which gives me a great idea for the next song I'm going to do. And it's one I haven't done for a while, too. There was a post on the internet, because the internet writes half my songs, that came up with... Let's see, is it that one? This one. There we go. Yep. Is that it? 2020? You know what? I may just run this directly to. Let's see. There's a chord that I wrote in here as a Hawaiian D7. It's called. But yeah. Anyway, professor was talking about how someone's talking about how they fell over, and the professor indicated that we are all victims of physics, and that was written by me, last edited November 30th, 2020. 3 years ago, I wrote that song. Dang, a lot's been happening here. I'm a victim of physics. Gravity just gets me down. I'm a victim of physics. Inertia's pushing me around. My coefficient's are close to zero. I'm a laughing stock in this town. Well, I'm a victim of physics. No lever could ever be too long. I'm a victim of physics. My weak force just ain't that strong. I got the emotion from motion for the duration of this song. I lost that primal spark. My quarks don't want to work. I'm so disconnected, can't even work a tune and bark. Oh, baby, I'm as sad as a scientist can be. I gotta call myself fearless, cause not a single peer will review me. Well, I'm a victim of physics. A vector is a crooked line. I'm a victim of physics, relatively speaking. I don't feel fine. I got a single detection theory, but I can't resolve why I still whine. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My life is out of scope, so sound the alarm. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My quark's the only thing that's got any charm. I can't attract another body. I just got entropy to keep me warm. I go fishing for some light. My future's not so bright. I search for the event horizon. There ain't a single one inside. Oh, baby, I'm like a cathode that's just plain stuck. It ain't central force, baby. It's my life. It just plain sucks. Wow, that went better than expected. I have literally not played that song, I think, well over a year. I will have to consult the great book of all of the shows I've done. I've wrote them all down. Written them all down? I've written the majority of them down when I started going back to work when the pandemic was shutting down. Then we started doing some things differently, and I stopped writing them down. But I do have everything recorded in all the logs of all the places I work. Now, you may notice there's a thingy over here. Thingy. This is a widget I'm trying to put in here. It's called a tip jar. And theoretically, if you like the show you're watching now, something will fall into the tip jar. If you share the show you're watching now, something will fall into the tip jar. If you give me money, God help us, probably mostly through Streamlabs, something will fall into the tip jar. I am not begging for money. I am, however, begging for likes and sharing and subscriptions because I am desperate for validation, like so many of us these days. Because I cannot brain my word bad. I cannot think my feel sad. I cannot brain the word stick. Bunch up in my face, come out too thick. I cannot brain. No, can't even rhyme at this point. I cannot brain. Word bad. Song weird. Messed up. Out of joint. I cannot brain my word bad. I cannot think my heart's sad. I cannot brain the word stick. Ones within my face come out too thick. I used a good word real good there once. There we go. That's 2 blues songs in a row, because blues is an American song form. I am wearing a straw boater hat, which is unfortunately Italian. An Italian straw boater. I cannot figure out how to. You know what? You liked it, and I'm happy with that. We'll see what happens with the rest of this nonsense. I don't even know if the widgets work, but then too, I have subscribed to this live stream OBS, this Streamlabs service for a year, another year. So we'll see what happens. What pays for that, by the way, is your Patreon pennies. Any Patreon pennies you give me goes towards the technological side of the show. The quality of the show, that just got nothing, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's me. Let's be honest about that. I'm reminded of the fact that with an 8-string, there's certain things I have to be very careful about. Like the fact that out here, if I'm going to play a D, usually a D is just these 3 strings, right? These top 3. And this one rings out. But I really like playing a D this way, where I put my pinky finger on the 4th string. So then when you go up to the E, then you play an E like that. The E chord is the nemesis of ukulele players everywhere. The actual E chord, for those of you keeping track at home, I gotta look it up because I've legitimately blocked it from my mind. E chord ukulele. This is really, really obnoxious. It is like the biggest pain in the Waitangis because it's like 1st fret this string. Okay? So far, so good, right? Okay. Now, 4th fret, 2nd string. Okay? Now, way over here on the very bottom string, 2nd fret. And that's an E. But you have to bend your hand into this unnatural position. And they expect you to play it. There is another way to play an E, which is to go on the 4th fret for these 3 strings, and then the 2nd fret here. But I also realized that another way entirely was to play it like this. And I go, oh, that's D. Because I know that D sharp is that. So that's easy. D sharp, D, D sharp, and you're done. And you've also played part of a Jimi Hendrix song. So that works out nicely. Those of you watching along at home, I hope you are having a good 4th of July. I slept in a bit. I am doing better. The Achilles tendonitis, which immobilized me and made me unhappy with the world, is doing better. And I have my wife to thank for that. My lovely wife, Amy, without whom I would be dead in a ditch on fire, has kept me seated a lot. Now, I know it's a real injury, because with a real injury, I don't want to sit on my butt. Even if I'm tired and exhausted, I want to get up and be like a productive member of society. But she has kept me seated, and we have iced it a lot, and now I'm just about at the point where I'm prepared to take advantage of my new knees. The full benefits of the three runs of injections should officially start Thursday, on my birthday. There's some very complex explanations as to what they injected into my knees. The bottom line is it's supposed to provide additional lubrication, which is good when you don't have a lot of cartilage. And I don't have a lot of cartilage. And I will tell you this, my knees don't hurt. Which is interesting because I've been putting up with that for 10 years. And when something hurts for 10 years and it stops hurting, that's kind of like awesome. I'm very surprised by it all. I'm trying to remain focused because this eye will wander. Okay. I am going to ask if anybody wants to see me do the dumb eye trick. I will then wait 30 seconds to 2 minutes to see if anybody responds, saying they want to see me deliberately do the dumb eye trick. This is usually where the show ends, but I'm going to... Nanobots, yes! I would happily... Nanobots is a good explanation, as good an explanation as ever. But if anybody wants to see me do the dumb eye trick, I discovered that one of my eyes will start wandering off if I don't think about it too hard. Hey, viewers went up when I started talking about the dumb eye trick. I can only assume that means that some people are like checking me out for the first time. They come right in on me saying doing the dumb eye trick. So I will play some music and see if anybody wants to see the dumb eye trick. What song do I want to play next? There are so many. Where's a... Well, here's one. Here's a dumb thing I haven't done for a while. Let me see if it's got this here. Oh, the song is redundant. This song is. This verse sounds like the other one because that's what it is. There's lots of songs that sound this way, but this song is most because this song is redundant of its redundancy. I'll blow. Oh, this song is redundant. Redundant this song is. This verse sounds like the other one because that's what it is. There's many songs that sound this way, but this song is the most because this song's redundant of its redundancy. I'll blow. Oh, this song is redundant. Redundant this song is. That's about as much of that joke as anyone can really tolerate. Let's go to an extra song. You know, I had not done this song for a little while. Let's see if it'll come up. Yes, because there is, when I was wandering around on the interwebs, speaking of Americana and American things, let me see if I can find the picture of it. There's actually there is something known as the world's oldest edible ham. This thing. The world's oldest edible ham. Mr. P.D. Gwaltney, Pembroke Gwaltney III, because it's always somebody who's the third, had a warehouse. In this warehouse, he was curing hams. And there was a ham that had sat there for 20 years. And cured hams can do that. Cured hams can wait for it and exist for a very long time. And the Mr. Pembroke decided to turn this into a bit of a festival attraction. And so he put a collar on it and a tag. Ancient ham. In a few more decades, I will be an ancient ham. And it inspired this song, which is roughly in Welsh time if we're lucky. Oh good, the chords are coming back. Oldest edible ham, a token of how things could be. The world's oldest edible ham, we could eat it, but should we? In 1902, down at Gwaltney Foods, a ham was lost in the cooler. 2 decades did pass with it offsetting gas, and Pembroke declared it the ruler. Why? It's the world's oldest edible ham, a token of how things could be. The world's oldest edible ham, we could eat it, but should we? Well, he collared that ham and said, well, my man, you're gonna be my pet creation. I'll take you to fairs, and under my care, there'll be a grand ham celebration. That's right, a ham celebration, kids. You don't get more American than that. It's the world's oldest edible ham, a token of how things could be. The world's oldest edible ham, we could eat it, but should we? Howdy in old Virginia, a ham sits in livery, along with the world's oldest peanut. Though it looks the samey, it's probably quite gamey, but people pay money to see it. Why? It's the world's oldest edible ham, a token of how things could be. The world's oldest edible ham, we could eat it, but should we? Gratuitous species in the chorus. It's the world's oldest edible ham, a token of how things could be. The world's oldest edible ham, we could eat it, but should we? Probably not. Yes, of course, Ariel would go straight for the old ham. There is actually, this is at a museum in Virginia, along with legitimately what they call the world's oldest peanut, possibly the world's oldest surviving peanut, which sits in a little glass case next to the world's oldest edible ham. And in fact, they have, or had, last time I checked, a webcam that allows people to view the world's oldest edible ham live on the internet. That's right. Whoa, Black Betty, ham a cam. Whoa, Black Betty, ham a cam. I'm going to stop there. I'm actually working on compiling like the world's longest Whoa, Black Betty collection of Whoa, Black Betty gags. I'm pretty good. I am realizing I have written a surprising number of Americana songs. I'm kind of surprised by that, honestly. Then, too, this has been over the course of 4 years. I've written a lot of goofy stuff. And it's like trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. There's so many things that I've almost written. Some things I've written make perfect sense. There's some stuff that never really makes much sense at all. Because, you know, frequently, that reminds me of a song that I'm just about to write. Don't think that it will take long, but, you know, I think it might. That reminds me of a song that I'm just about to write. When I get the thing written down, I will sing with all my might. And I'm still working on that one as well. I have a lot of these things kind of lumped in. And what happens is I have an idea, and I write it down in Evernote, which is over here where you can't see it. And then later on, I try to beat it into interesting things. This one I will do simply because we're well past the usual 30-minute time limit on my shows. I'm going to go probably for at least an hour, maybe a little bit more, or at least until I get bored and you people stop commenting. So if you people keep commenting, that means other people other than Ariel too, you're allowed to. Then I will gleefully, I say, continue to perform. Because that's the way these shows work when I do the big McLargeHuge shows. And I will just continue to do them. I did get a chance to perform at the King's Pub Sing at Scarborough Renaissance Festival this year. And I did Useless Magic Sword, which is a good song. And it was well received. And someone came to me and said that they honestly felt it took a bit long. And they felt that most of the songs at the pub sing took a bit long, which surprised me a little bit. But because I am a giver, I give. I proceeded to write the following song over the course of about 2 days. Welcome to the pub sing. I'm happy to perform. But I've been informed by the management that we're running a little long. I'd hate to disappoint you, know nothing of the sort. So to help get it all out, here is a song that is short. And that's how that song goes. My goal is to do this song at the pub sing, and literally just at the end of it, just walk off. Not wait for an applause or anything, just, there, are you happy? And then eventually get like 2 or 3 people to sing harmony on it, and then we all just scatter into various directions. I think that would be hilarious and fun myself, because I am subversive. And I believe in subverting the dominant paradigm wherever I find it. Because subverting the dominant paradigm is funny. It really is. Oh my goodness me. It's been a thing. It's been a very... what a long, strange trip it's been is an accurate assessment. Because, boy, howdy, has there been a lot. Started doing this during lockdown. We legitimately, my day job, we legitimately had everybody working from home the day before we thought people might be ordered to stay in their homes because of the pandemic. You remember the pandemic was in all the papers. And so I took my computer home and we had all the problems you could possibly have setting up to work from home as a company of about 160 people, many of whom were highly trained engineers with very little technological experience outside of their particular field. And it was rough and it was ugly. And the very next day it said, all right, everybody stays home. It's like, bam, okay. And so the very first show that I ever did I have it written down here because I am old and have suffered a number of blows to the head, was the 19th of March, 2020. I think this was about a week into the working from home thing, and I said, you know, what happens if I just live stream and play some music? And it works. People, y'all hung out with me. Now, granted, you had nothing else to do. You were all trapped at home with nothing but the internet to keep you company. But I have been doing this now for, dang, well over 3 years, off and on. There have been some gaps. There have been some weeks and months where I didn't do any shows at all. And that's because I was probably doing a festival. I don't work a lot of the long festivals, at least all the way through anymore, because I'm getting older and I'm getting a little tired. VPN, Virtual Private Network. That's where you can connect to your company's network through the internet, and it's like restricted, so there's a lot of other clever things that happen. Rob just asked what's a VPN, and I figured as part of my job as being a technological nerd, I have to tell people these things. Another song that was inspired by the internet was actually inspired by an XKCD comic, which I don't have to put up here, but I really ought to. XKCD is a fun little stick figure comic strip that does more things with concepts than with art, and it's worth it. But this one is a very common theme. Somebody is wrong on the internet. Somebody is wrong on the internet. Well, I got to correct them. They didn't ask me, but I gotta tell them that they are wrong. Somebody is wrong on the internet. Somebody is wrong on the internet. Well, I got to wear them down. They're avoiding me, but I'll wear them down and prove that they are wrong. Somebody is wrong on the internet. Somebody is wrong on the internet. They think that they can ignore me. Yeah, they're thinking that they can ignore me. But they are wrong. This is a Twitter song right now. Somebody's still wrong on the internet. Yep, they are still wrong on the internet. I guess I'll have to bombard them with more comments, just so I can bombard them. Be the submission, cause they are wrong. And now I have been blocked on the internet. This guy has got me blocked on the internet. I guess that means that I have won. Yeah, that's definitely sure that means that I have won. Cause they were wrong. Oh, my poor cuticles. Every time I play these songs with a lot of strumming on them, if I don't use a pick, because of my horrible technique and the fact that I have fingernails that have the structural integrity of damp cardboard, I beat the heck out of my finger, the cuticle beds. Why don't you get manicures? Because you don't freshly paint a wall you're just going to walk through. That's why. I'm broken-hearted with all of this entails. It'll take some concentrated drinking to keep me on the rails. I have to hide my face, I have to hide my shame. I don't wait till I'm sober, till I get drunk again. I drink at home, I drink out, I drink in cocktail bars. Falling down, seeing stars, it suits me. It suits. Where am I? Oh, it's yeah. I gotta put the notes up on that one. I have not played Drink in ages. That was one of the first songs that actually moved me into doing music because I really dug that song. I will actually play. I will try and play it here if I can. I will have to find it somewhere because it's not on my notes. Maybe I will bust out the song. I will find it and I will put it into my thing so I can actually see it. Play it again because it's been a while. Maybe. Oh, which one do I want to do now? Oh, here's another lovely Americana song, and it's Americana, and it's also Americana by Jimmy Buffett, one of my favorite human beings, my favorite musicians in the world. Let me see if I can pull this trick off. It's been a little while. E minor is this one. D minor is this one. G, C, A. Okay. I think we got it. Maybe. Wait, D sharp minor? What am I thinking with D sharp? What the heck am I thinking with D sharp minor? Where does that come from? No, that's just regular D minor, isn't it? No, it is D sharp minor. Oh, that's... So that's, What is D sharp minor? Before I play the song, I'll actually check the notes, so I have some idea what note I'm actually attempting to play. Because I like you people, and this has been like forever and a day that I played some of this stuff. Huh? D sharp minor. Oh, I see. So it's... There we go. That was D sharp minor. You know, you gotta make sure you know what song... You gotta make sure you know the notes before you play the darn notes. Moonlight and magnolia, starlight in your hair, all the world's a dream come true. Did it really happen? Was I really there? Was I really there with you? Swing time. We lived our little drama. We kissed on a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. An A, D minor, and G. I can't forget the glamour, your eyes and the tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. To the F and the C, G and bridge I never planned. In my imagination, a situation so heavenly, a fairyland where no one else could enter, and in the center, just you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer, my arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. To the instrumental. D, G, C, A to the D minor, G and C, all the way to E minor, D sharp minor, D minor, to G, 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 D minor, all the way out to the G there, and to C, A, D, G, C. We lived a little drama, we kissed on a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. I can't forget the glamour, your eyes held the tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. The F, the C, the G I never planned in my imagination. A situation so heavenly, a fairyland where no one else could enter, and in the center just you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer, my arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Dang, that's pretty. That's the reason I like playing that song. It's pretty. Oh, I get all caught up with the Renaissance stuff when we get into Ren Fair season, and I forget about all these other songs that I have either written or that I fell in love with during lockdown. And playing them on this is like prosthetic talent right here. This is, you got more strings and the sound, even the B chord, which is one of my nemesis, that's a B chord. And I can almost hit that. There's that shift. What time is it in Finland right now? Oh, it's, that's what, they're about 6 hours ahead of us, I think. Something like that. So it is nigh upon supper time. Well, no, not necessarily European supper time. It's nigh upon at least afternoon tea. Late afternoon tea, I would wager. But there's this lovely shift in here where you get that chord and in the bridge, okay, where is it? It's in here somewhere. A fairyland where no one else could. A minor, then G sharp, and then B suddenly out of nowhere. And the B chord, by the way, for those of you who play guitar, the handling on the B chord in the ukulele is pretty much like the handling of the F chord on the guitar, which is why we hate it so much. So that's where that is. Y'all are still with me. I appreciate that a lot. I like it when people hang out with me because that way it's not just, one guy. Vox Clematis and Deserto, as my classics professor, Douglas S. Parker, PhD, would say. I miss that fellow. That fellow is the reason why I graduated. I do. Question from Rob that's shown on the YouTubes is, you do know a lot of songs, many of which aren't run appropriate. Very true. And a lot of that is because I like to be able to play music not just at the Renaissance festivals. Before the plague hit, I was going to start doing open mic nights here in San Antonio. And then the plague hit, and that put a real crimp in things. And a whole bunch of other stuff happened. Even if after they started letting people go out and be in groups again. So I'm probably going to try and do that. The goal was to do that kind of during the hot months. June through about September. Clamato would be... Clamato. The only reason I know about Clamato is because my dad kept a wet bar in many of the houses, and Clamato was one of the things that was there. Intended to be a mixer. Clamato is like V8, but with clam juice. And I never quite understood it, but it was weird, and therefore I wanted to try some. And I became rather fond of Clamato. I don't drink a lot of it these days because you have to think about Clamato to actually want. You can get that. It's the drink that it goes in. Most of the time, it's called a Bloody Caesar, which is like a Bloody Mary, except that it uses Clamato. Why is it a Bloody Caesar? I have no idea. Let's do another song. This one. It was introduced to me by Kay, one of my Patreon patrons and one of my pals and buddies. And I realized after I heard it that I had originally encountered it in the wild on The Muppet Show. When it was in syndication on the UHF channels. UHF channels, by the way, before cable, there was like 13 channels on the big dial and then a bunch of little channels on the small dial. And the big dial on TV would actually go clunk, 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 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The UHF channel, you had to tune it. It was very weird. It was like, you kind of had to guess where it was going to be. And once you got close, you had to, like, fiddle with the knob a little bit here and a little bit there to get it to come in properly. Those of you who still have FM radios and don't have pre-programmed, no, actually now it's no longer even the case, because all of FM radio is digital now too, isn't it? Wow, we live in a whole new frickin' world. But it turns out this was a song that was written for was a vaudeville show. So I'm very happy to be able to play it because it is a fun song. Started on a journey about a year ago to a little town called Morrow in the state of Ohio. I'd never been much of a traveler and I really didn't know that Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever try to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guide. Says, "Oh, my friend, I'd like to go tomorrow and return no later than tomorrow, for I haven't time to burn." Says he to me, "Now let me see if I have heard you right. You'd like to go tomorrow and return tomorrow night. You should have gone tomorrow, yesterday, and back today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. If you had gone tomorrow, yesterday, now don't you see, you could have gone tomorrow and returned today at 3, for the train today, tomorrow, if the schedule is right, today goes tomorrow and returns tomorrow night." Says I, "My friend, it seems to me you're talking through your hat. There is a town named Morrow on the line, now tell me that." "There is," says he, "but take from me a quiet little tip. For to go to here tomorrow, it's a 14-hour trip. The train today, tomorrow, leaves today at 8:05. At 10:30 tomorrow is the time it would arrive. So if from here tomorrow is a 14-hour jump, can you go today, tomorrow, and get back today, you jump?" Says I, "I'd like to go tomorrow, but can I go today? And go tomorrow by tonight if there is no delay." Well, says he to me, and I got nothing more to say. "Can't get anywhere tomorrow and get back again today." Says I guess you know it all, but kindly let me say, how can I get tomorrow if I leave this town today? Says, "You cannot go tomorrow anymore today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way." I was so disappointed, I was mad enough to swear. The train had gone tomorrow and had left me standing there. That man was right in telling me I was a howling jay. I could not go tomorrow, so I guess in town I'll stay. I do love that song. They cut out one of the verses and one of the bridges in there, I think, for the Muppet Show. You can find it out there, and the reason that I sound a little bit like Kermit the Frog and a little bit like Jim Henson is Jim Henson's the guy who sang the song in the Muppet Show. So therefore, when I go to sing that song, I sing it the way that I heard the guy sing it, and that would be Mr. Jim Henson. Oh my goodness me, this is fun. There's a lot of stuff that I have not done for a while, and this is a great opportunity to do it. A lot of what I'm doing is I'm like double checking to make sure there's some things that I actually can remember how to play. A lot of Jimmy Buffett. I learned a lot of Buffett during the pandemic, and I almost know most of it still, which is lovely, but it is a little obnoxious at times. Because a lot of it is just stuff that I picked up once and then I kind of set it aside. Some of it I threw a great distance. I think it is appropriate at this time to play the dumbest song I have ever written. Now, I say this is the dumbest song I have ever written, but not the stupidest song. It is true. Jim Henson made a Jim Henson Muppet to play himself as he performed this song. And apparently he does play the banjo, which is why Kermit plays the banjo, which is also kind of neat. But this is the dumbest song that I have ever written, and it was inspired by a picture like this. Because at some point, many American young men, when presented with a set of blocks of cheese, will begin to stack them, and this right here inspired, again, as I say, the dumbest song that I have ever written. The song is best performed in the mode for which it is intended, which means I have to break out the aviator sunglasses. Because this song is performed best, as performed as if you were, performed by Neil Diamond. Now, not the friendly, happy, family-friendly, turn on your heart light, E.T., they're coming to America, 1980s Neil Diamond. No. We are talking about the 1970s double denim on everything but a pogo stick Neil Diamond. I want you to imagine that you're in the 4th hour of a 2-hour Neil Diamond concert. They have blown through everything in the catalog, and he pulls this nonsense out of his back pocket. It goes like this. Cheese hinge, it's like Stonehenge, but it's made of cheese, and it stood taller than the trees. Majestic and its factor and glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Erected by the ancient Welsh, you know they really couldn't help themselves. Towering spires of Wensleydale, the faith in engineering would prevail. Cheese hands, it's a hand, but it's made of cheese. The construction was quite a breeze. But in its factor and glory, generations all tell the story of the hand made of cheese. Who knows why they built the thing? Did they turn compass around it and sing? How does dairy stuff last so long? We'll just wonder about it in song. Cheese hen, it's a hen, but it's made of cheese, and it's raised funny in the breeze. Majestic in its factor and glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Standing in delicious awe, make a selfie to spend the mama. In the woods by a distant stream, you're gonna smell it before it is seen. Cheese hen, it's a hedge, but it's made of cheese. If you're allergic, it would make you sneeze. Majestic in its pressure and glory, generations all tell the story of the hedge made of cheese. Cheese hands, blackout pyro. I have no special effects budget, but that's how it would go. It is arguably the dumbest song I have ever written, and I have actually performed this dumb song at Sherwood Forest Fair in the presence of the wonderful lady who is Rihanna the Troll. And I performed it with Amy there in the audience, and that was... She sat there and she listened to the whole thing and she giggled through it all, and I feel that is probably the correct approach, because there's a certain level of... there's stupid and there is dumb. And the glory of having fun being dumb is you can deliberately be dumb and not be mean. it is not easy to deliberately be stupid and not be mean. The advantage we have over our enemy opposition is that they are both mean and stupid. We take advantage of that a lot. We will now check to see whether or not the instrument has in fact thrown itself out of tune in protest. A little bit. It has, just a tad. There we go. This one is particular. That cheese hinge is particularly prone to that because although there are not power chords on a ukulele, when you beat at it that hard, you will eventually. Blue cheese. That would be That would be wreckage. That would be. That would definitely be the remains. Time Team could come and find the buried remains of the blue cheese hinge. I had to use Wensleydale because it just was it's one of my favorite cheese names. I've never actually had Wensleydale. That is one of the ones with a vein of cheese mold through it. I have to be careful about that because my beloved wife is allergic to cheese molds. She has some of the most unusual and bizarre food allergies I've encountered, so much so that the allergist came out with a chart and goes, well, that's odd. And that says something. Wow, we are now well into overtime. And I hope you guys have been having as much fun as I have been having, because I have been having a lot of fun with this. It's a chance to just knock some things out. And this is a longer stream. The thing that I do not do well is I do not do the kind of live streams that most streamers do, where they're going to be there for 2 and 3 hours. And part of that is because I have bits of my life that require my presence outside of here. I have a marriage, I have 2 cats, I have a house to maintain, I have other stuff I gotta do, and I like to be able to do this stuff sometimes because it gives me the opportunity to, kind of hang out and have fun. And since Teppo is still here, I think I will have to play the song that Richard, who I'm sorry Richard's not here, he may be having technical issues again. Richard has not had great luck with technology lately where he is staying. But I will do the song that Richard asked me to write in honor of Teppo, who is in fact our man in Finland. Long nights, cold days, up north, just ways, flying cyclists through the dawn, got his goggles and his helmet on. A man in Finland, a man in Finland. No more days sitting around, gotta get up and in town, find a way out to the square, got some clinics waiting there for a man in Finland, a man in Finland. Go. Needs a solo. Monday. In the square, taking the sight, then right off into Helsinki's night. Across Sarikani, not the plan. All Helsinki, respect man. A man in Finland, a man in Finland. I do love this song. That is a lovely song. This is one of the few songs I really want to produce the heck out of, because it feels like it could support, you know, a rolling boron in the background and a flute or violin solo in the bridge area there. It's got the right feel for it. It's got that kind of feel. And I was trying to recreate, because I used to ride a motorcycle when I was younger. Yeah, I had a motorcycle, and I would ride it. And when we moved to California, that became my primary means of commuting for a while. And then somebody stole my motorcycle. It was a motorcycle thief stole my motorcycle out of the pad where I had it parked at the fourplex where I was living. And then like a year and change later, my motorcycle was recovered, because apparently it was a stupid motorcycle thief that stole my motorcycle. Stripped off a few parts, pulled the ignition key, and then just rode it around and broke the law and was chased by the authorities. And they had an exciting bit where you ditch the bike on the ground and you run like hell trying to get away, and they caught him. And then I rode my motorcycle back from way up north in Marin County back to where I was living in Fremont, which is down the inside of the San Francisco Bay Area. And so I know I have still some memory of what it was like to be on a long road trip, because actually initially when I got the bike was in Utah, and I was living in Austin. So I had to drive the bike from Utah all the way through Nebraska and to Kansas, down through Oklahoma, down into Texas. It was about 3 days. And the tank I had on it was a little 1.5 gallon peanut tank on a Harley Davidson Sportster 660 cubic centimeter bike. So I had an enforced rest break every hour where I had to find some place to get gas and walk around, lumbering around like an old cowboy who had been riding a long time. Man, you realize just how old you are when you start thinking back about some of the weird adventures you've had. I'm older. I like to say older because it gives the impression that it's going to continue to occur. And songs like that are the reason why fingerprint readers don't like my fingers. It's a true story. I actually have there's some secured doors where I have the day job, and they have fingerprint readers. You're supposed to be able to put your finger on it, and it reads it. And we recorded my fingers. Yes. The nice thing about riding a motorcycle is if you have gas, you can pretty much fart and leave it behind you. But that's another joke entirely. 65-mile-per-hour fart. It just, do you leave it right where it's spread out? I can't even begin to discuss that here. This is a family show. Anyway, fingerprint reader. The fingerprint readers don't like my fingers at all. I have to bip in a secret code number because they don't like my fingerprints. I apparently have worn them down through many years of doing things with my hands, typing and playing music and that sort of thing, which is amusing as heck to me. So, yeah. Wow, we're coming along. What else do I want to do here? We're in a slightly more relaxed and laid back portion of the show here. Just because I did a lot of high energy songs, and I'm beginning to feel myself winding down, because I'm used to doing like a half-hour show or 40-minute show and then be done. I kind of like this one. This is what I'm working on here. What is it? F sharp major? What is that? You know, I make notes, and I think somehow that I am going to remember. Oh, that's this one. World is a disaster. I'm tired of it all. Gonna find a comfy sunspot, curl up into a ball. Pet me and tell me I'm pretty. Tired of being a human. The heck with that? Oh, yes. This is supposed to be more legato. Pet me, tell me I'm pretty. Tired of being a human. The heck with that. I've decided to spend my life as a cat. Pet me, tell me I'm pretty. I don't wanna be responsible, just be adored. So pet me and feed me until I get bored. The world is a mess and I can't make it right. I'm tired of being angry and too tired to fight. Wanna sleep in the daytime, proud in the night. I wanna be a cat. Anyway, I'm still working on that one. Clearly, I'm working on that one, as it sounded like it was bolted together from spare parts and hurled out a window at moving at high speed. Troubadour Death March for the Music Marathon Show of Doom! Of Doom! Doom! Anybody who came to the Overtime Theater in the late 2010s, well, actually, all through the 2010s, knows what Doom means. It was a series of shows, oddly enough. Speaking of shows, the radio show that I put together, Thrash Crankshaft PI, is still available on Anchor.fm and wherever you find your streaming services. And I'm thinking about taking what I'd started to write for the second Thrash Crankshaft show and turning that into an actual stage play. Thrash Crankshaft in the Case of the Maltese Thingy. We will see how that goes. It's all kinds of nonsense. The engine is on again, and it just keeps creating things, and I just kind of keep doing weirdness. What else do I want to do here? I think I'm beginning to spin down, which is okay. I mean, I have done an hour of just straight music and yammering into the world. Let's do a couple of bouncy songs and we'll wrap it up. This song, of course, has many challenges. The next one I'm going to do, partially because of the source material, although the source material is barely lightly touched upon. And the only reason the source material is lightly touched upon is because, let's be honest about it, the creator of said source material has become incredibly problematic. And I happen to be one of a number of healthy, sane human beings who believe that sometimes the factory doesn't put out the right model for the software that's running, and you need to do some modifications on the model to make it match. Which is why I am very anti-turf, and this song is, of course, about the little known, and even less understood seafaring magic user's game known as Stay! Get up there, Oswald. Oswald, the recklessly flung squid. Squidditch! There are valiant wizards the world around who seek and block and fly. But those wizards fly above the ground, they drop too fast, they die. Us sailing wizards have a game that's grand from start to finish. I speak, of course, of the legendary seafaring game of Squidditch. Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves so blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to budge your sternum mid. And you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. Big cheer! Yay, Squidditch! Load up on rum and bring your chum, shine up your flying mop. For the game is played from dusk till dawn until all the sailors drop. No points to scored, no numbered board will tell you if you won. But if all of us are in the drink, I guess the game is done. 'Cause there's no such thing as water Squidditch. There's just a look, everybody's gotten drunk and fallen off their mops. Ain't that right? Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves of blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to budge your sternum mid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with the squid. Yay, Squidditch! A game of skill and daring, it calls for all your wit and luck. If you see a cephalopod fly by, well, I'd suggest you duck. for you have to stay upon your mop, and that takes all your wits, for a squid will try to cuddle just whatever it is it hits. Which is why the scientific term for a squid is, I looked it up on Wikipedia, so I know it's true, cuttlefish. Home and your mops and soar above the briny waves of blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to budge your stern amid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, Squidditch! We swoop and strive and spin and strive and carry it into space. 'Cause you never know when you'll end up with a squid stuck to your face. The peril here is very real, and that, my friend, is that. For a sailor's game time's ending in a damp, resounding splash. Although honestly, the sound made by a live squid adhesing to a human face is along the lines of shh. But I can't rhyme that. And I have tried. Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves of blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. The puny ball would have the gall to budge your stern amid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, Squidditch! The game is past, done far too fast. We all are in the drink, and you cannot tell whose team is which because of all the ink. That was your fault. So I guess this means the game is done. The squid has swum away and sought refuge on my shoulder. Say pieces of 8, Oswald. Close enough. Let's clean up ourselves and go dry off and brag about the day. No matter how many times you do it, the story you tell about the time your best friend got smacked in the mush with a squid never gets old, does it? Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves of blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to budge your stern amid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. You also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. The point of this game is you can belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, squid! This is Oswald, the recklessly flung squid. A squid plushie that was commissioned by my lovely wife, I'm a crochet artist, and it showed up one day. Is Oswald, isn't you just the cutest little thing in the whole wide world? Oh, God, help! Get him off me! Get off me! Get off me! Stay. Watch you. Ah! I do enjoy Squidditch. It's a fun song. Oh my goodness. I had an extremely large squid try to pull me into a tank once in an aquarium. I am glad. Apparently the squid either saw you as a kindred spirit or food. Either case, it's very easy to get in trouble with a squid. For a number of reasons. Like that one. My friends, it has been almost an hour and a half, and I'm really grateful to everybody who's hung out with me, those who have chatted with me, those of you who are just kind of hanging out and having fun, listening to me yammer on as you go about your day. And of course, there are some of you who will be catching this later in the day or later in the week, because I'm very big in syndication. I will probably do a Friday show, because I will be working from home on Friday. This week is special because we have the 4th of July today. My birthday is on Thursday. So we decided to take Wednesday and Thursday off. Ha-ha! Especially because tomorrow is the 5th of July, which is the day after the 4th of July when everybody blows crap up. Now, it's been incredibly hot and dry out here. We are in a very high stage of drought and fire risk here in San Antonio, Texas. And in fact, setting off fireworks in city limits of San Antonio, Texas is supposed to be illegal. But that doesn't stop people. And usually stuff doesn't stop blowing up until about 2 a.m. And as somebody who has worked customer service and tech support for many years and had to be in the office bright and bleary the next morning after the munitions have all gone off, I found there's a value to not having to go into work the day after the 4th of July. Also, I have enough vacation days, and I have enough sick days backed up at this point that I could effectively be dead for a full 3 months and still be able to come back to work afterwards. I'd need a note from my doctor. Please excuse Matthew, he's been dead for 3 months. You know, it's probably easier to be dead for tax purposes, but that's a whole other story, which we'll discuss later. So, my friends, my goodness me, I am so happy that you've hung out with me so far. I think I got enough in me for another song or two here. We'll see what we got going on. As a dog person, I like to think Andrew Cups. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Just what I need you to do is to relax every muscle in your body. Glove snap. You notice that that gesture among a certain category of people is universally understood. You don't have to explain anything beyond it. I used to talk about that when I was a magician. I would say that when I, sometimes it's very difficult to take your magic stuff on airplanes because you will often wind up in a room with a man with absolutely no sense of humor whatsoever. And everyone always made the same wincing gesture when I made that gesture because everybody knows what they're talking about. It's basically, a security check, as it were. The word probe springs to mind and then runs away screaming, as I often do. Yes. And the wise words, Ariel. Those who drink a fifth on the 4th cannot go forth on the 5th. But you might not have any firth. I might have to write something about that. Okay, fine. Thank you, Ariel. You have just inspired a potential silliness here. Can I capture this? Yes, I will capture this entire... The entire comment has been captured and physically hurled into my Evernote, wherein I keep all things. Read that those who drink a fifth on the 4th cannot go forth on the 5th. Now I will end up writing a song, and that might actually show up by the time I have by the time we get to Celtic Fest. Which reminds me, there is a song I've written specifically for Sherwood Celtic Fest and other such things because it is based on a safety briefing that my friend Shadow, one of the people with whom I hang out with, it's a bad generally my job here is done. I'll give you this song, or at least most. I think this is the entire song, but I could be wrong. It starts in D. So many Celtic songs start in D. I guess it's an easy chord to play in a bouzouki. I'm going to the heat. Yeah, okay. Going to the healing games of softball. Wow. Going to the healing games of softball. Of me center. Just remember this, me darling. Remember this, me darling. When the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. You lift your hips and muscles, running round the big pole spin. But I learned this fact the hard way that the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. For the caber does not care as it goes flying through the air. It will not bend nor break, but it could drive you like a stake into the ground, me darling. When you go to fling the log, now take a tip from me. Before I started, I was 6'4", and now I'm 4'3". And now I'm 4'3". For the caber does not care as it goes flying through the air. It will not bend nor break, but it could drive you like a stake into the ground. and games absolve me of my sin. Just remember this, me darling one, the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. Yes, the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. I still need to work the chords on that, but I like it. That is part of my friend Shadow's safety briefing for the caber toss. The caber always wins, and I do like that a lot. But I think I should probably wrap things up because I'm clearly falling apart in front of you now. Time to go have a snack and a nap, because we can do that. I hope you have the ability and opportunity to take a nap today. Those of you who are in the United States of America, now would be a good time to take a nap so that if you don't get enough sleep tonight, you still feel human. Those of you not in the United States, you can take a nap whenever the heck you want, honestly. Let's be honest. Why not? Oh my goodness me. What to do the last one? I think it's pretty much... Yeah. I think it's pretty much time to do... I'm going to end this set with a song that I use to end a lot of sets. I'm trying to decide between Bertha's Muscles and Songs of the Bard. Bertha's Muscles is a song I don't own the rights to, but I can still do it. Yes, Flinging Telephone Poles for Accuracy. I love the fact that that's actually, it's a surprisingly delicate, it's a combination of precision and brute, angry strength, which is about as Scottish as you get, really. Let's do... Bertha's Muscles, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. Well, the sailor came to Bertha's with a problem most severe. His manly pride had been atrophied by a voyage of 14 years. So he ate a plate of mussels. Now he sings in a different key. His jibum set right, he'll be back there tonight, and he's not going back to sea. So he Bertha's Muscles, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. Well, a lady came to Bertha's who'd wanted a daughter or son. The doctor had said with a shake of her head that she couldn't have either one. So she ate a plate of mussels and went home to her husband. Dear, hi babe, he tuned up his truth, and to tell you the truth, they had triplets the very next year. So Bertha's Muscles, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore, you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. They will cure your diarrhea, cure your constipation too. Just swallow a box for the chicken pox, for the measles, or the flu. So if you fancy a healthy life, get your daily dosage straight. I'll play it in Bertha's Muscles, and you'll live till you're 98. So Bertha's Muscles, yum, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. All good things must come to an end, and while this may not qualify, we have come staggering to the successful conclusion of yet another Tobias the Adequate Troubadork show here on the Froth of July, show 300. 300 shows averaging 4 songs per show, if not more. Over 12,000 individual performances of doofy songs, many of which were written by me, some of which were written by others, but most of which were written by me. Wow. I don't know about you, but I'm impressed. And tired. Thank you all for hanging out with me once again. Those of you who want to support Adequacy in our lifetime, you can, of course, go to patreon.com/theadequate, and I want to thank my very caring and patient Patreon peeps. Amongst their weaponry are Tim K, Jen, Joe, Austin, Chris, Teppo, Isaac, Jasper, Linda, and Rob, Steve, BK, Richard, Brian, and my editor, Laureen, who is also, who I'm going to try to inflict the potential Volume 3 of Artisanal Gibberish on. That's a warning. I'm organizing things in the place where we look at these things now, so it's easier for you to look at and decide what goes in where and what does not go in where. Patreon.com/theadequate. Unruly Voices is, of course, my publishing imprint. They have published Artisanal Gibberish Volume 1 and 2. They'll also publish Volume 3. And the inevitable anthology, Carpe Diem Comics, is, of course, the emotional support comic shop for Tobias the Adequate and all things troubadourkery in historic downtown McKinney, Texas. If you happen to be in the area, drive there. Go buy some stuff. Tell them they're wonderful, because they are. My tip jars are paypal.me/theadequate. Venmo is $theadequate. No, Venmo is @theadequate. Cash App is $theadequate. You crazy kids with your fancy ways of moving money around, I swear. And if you see me in person, give me money. Why not? Hey, can't go too far wrong that way. TheAdequate.com is your one-stop shop for all things Tobias the Adequate. Troubadork.com is where I will eventually figure out how to do a live streaming take this show and put it on that website. I'm not sure what venue I'm going to go through to get there. I'm thinking it might be Streamlabs. I have a Streamlabs subscription for at least another 6 to 8 months. If you go to TheAdequate.com, you will find links for the Artisanal Gibberish books under the Madness section, I believe, or Mayhem, possibly. We do sell Artisanal Gibberish books both in hardcover and in paperback on most of the ways you can get books. Bookshop.org, I believe that's correct. Well, there's bookshop.com and bookshop.org, and I believe, let me double check this, because if you want to support a local bookshop, but you want to buy my book, you can buy my books through bookshop.org and find a local bookshop on there, and any orders you put through will go through that bookshop, which means that you can buy my book from wherever you are and have it delivered wherever you want it to be delivered, and the cash will go to the bookshop that you like. This is an awesome thing. We personally support the Nowhere Bookshop here in San Antonio, Texas. I know some people that are there that do that stuff there. You can also get the ebook format of it on anywhere that ebooks are sold, because, well, they're everywhere. Wow. Okay. 1 hour and 40 minutes of nonsense, and I am very grateful to y'all for hanging out with me, because if you were not hanging out with me, I would be doing this by myself. And while I can studio record, I'm not great at it. If you happen to know of a studio in the San Antonio area that's not too expensive and that will deal with a solo act with a acoustic electric implement and the desire to record a bunch of songs, let me know, because I would love to hook them up with me, because I would love to be able to work with somebody who knows what they're doing. I know that we were talking about a little bit further up in the stream here, and I will, but I also know that that particular gentleman is frequently off somewhere. Yeah, Andrew McKee is frequently off somewhere performing, because he's a musician and that's what he does. I am a dilettante, and this is what I do. Welcome to my world. All right. I think that's about it. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. There are people out there that think that performative cruelty is a valid replacement for having a personality, and they are wrong. And we're going to prove them wrong. And we've been in the process of unmessing stuff up for a while, and it's going to take longer than it takes to mess it up, unfortunately. But I can tell you from the personal experience of having lived through this nonsense the first time in the 70s and the 80s that it can be done. If you feel like you're not doing enough, find one person in your general radius and be kind to that person. And suggest they be kind to somebody else. And that's how that works. It always starts from the bottom up. Positive social change and all that. This time around, we do have some people up in Washington, D.C. who are trying to make things work in such a way that it cannot be undone. So do not fall victim to the lie that social media will give you, especially some of those sites where you just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and you just see the same bad thing 14 times. No. That is not the world. That is just the people who decide to spend most of their time on social media. And bless their hearts, some of them really do need a better hobby. Like this. They can play music. But I'm ranting. I'll be 56 in 2 days. I think I'm allowed to rant a little bit. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be safe. Be sane. Be silly. Be adequate. Fight fire with marshmallows. It confuses the heck out of the opposition. Do something kind to somebody for no reason other than it makes you feel better about the world in general. Trans rights are human rights. Protect trans kids. Protect all kids. Protect each other. Everybody gets over. Everybody succeeds. We can do it if we try. It might take a while, but we can certainly improve matters. That's enough out of me. Once again, you folks have been absolutely amazing for putting up with all this. I have been Tobias the Adequate, and I thank you for encouraging my behavior. A shorter show will happen on Friday, very likely. Take care. See you later.